Unit 1, Lesson 3 Solving Linear Systems by Graphing. So let's recall, what does it mean to solve a system of equations? To solve a system of equation means to find where the two lines intersect or to find a solution where we have a coordinate that fits both systems. So first let's define system of equations. A set of equations that have that has the same variables. So for example, something that has an x and y. A solution means where the lines meet. So there are three ways to graph a linear relation or to solve to graph linear relations. We talked about using a table of values. We talked about finding the x and y-intercept and graphing by that, or we can use the y is equal to mx plus b method, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Let's solve this system of equations by graphing. So just another recall is when we talk about slope, we are saying that m is equal to rise over run. Now, if we are rising, it would be a positive value, meaning going up. If we're going down, this is a negative value. On the other hand, the denominator is always going to be the run, meaning we're going right for a if it's positive and we're going left if it's negative. Okay, let's look at our first equation here. Equation 1, we have y is equal to 2x minus 8. Now remember, m is the slope, and the slope is always the coefficient of the x term. So in this case, I have m is equal to 2. But since it's not written as a fraction, it is more convenient for us to rewrite it as a fraction so that we can get the rise and run. Now we know that if I have a fraction, a whole number that we want to make into a fraction, we can always divide it by 1, and that becomes our fraction. So we have positive 2 over positive 1. Now, if we rewrote it as negative 2 over negative 1, it would be going in the opposite direction, but this is exactly the same thing because two negatives will give us a positive. Our y-intercept is b, and in this case, b is negative 8. I'm going to put a little note here. So our note will say, this means that we have a rise up of 2, and we're going to go to the right by 1. Now, if we're using the negative and negative, we could say that we're going to go down by 2, and we're going to go to the left by 1. Okay, let's start at negative 8. We're going to go up by 2 and across to the right by 1. Up by 2, across by 1, up by 2, across by 1, up by 2, across by 1. I have enough points to give me a good idea of where this line is going to go. Make sure you put arrows at the end and label your equation. Our second equation, we have this not in y is equal to mx plus b form. So let's rearrange it until it is y is equal to mx plus b. This is an x plus y or y plus x. We're going to move the x to the other side, so I have negative x plus 7. What does that tell us? It tells us that our m is equal to negative 1. Now, if this is negative 1, we could write this as negative 1 over 1, or we could write positive 1 over negative 1. The second part tells us our slope. B is equal to 7. Okay, what our slope tells us, we're going to go down by 1 and then right by 1, or we could say we're going up by 1 and then left by 1. Okay, let's draw our graph. So I'm plotting positive 7. Now I'm going down by 1 and to the right, down by 1 and to the right, down by 1, again to the right. Right. I'm going to join this line. And we have our equation here. Y is equal to negative 7, or negative 1 plus 7. We have our solution given right here. So the solution is positive 5, positive 2, and that's our coordinate. So conclusion, our solution is 5 over 2, or 5 and 2. You can always check by substituting it back into the original equations to get your x and y. I'm going to give you a moment now. Pause the video and try this on your own. All right, hope you've tried. Let's take this up. Determine the slope and the y-intercept. Now, one strategy we have when we're dealing with fractions, we're going to multiply each term by the common denominator. So one way to find the common denominator is to multiply the denominators together. So our common denominator in this case is 6. So I have 6 times 3 over 2x minus 6 times y over 2 is equal to 6 times 4 over 3. So this 6 and 2 divides out. We have 3 times 3x minus 3 times y, and this is equal to 2 times 4. Let's continue to simplify. 9x minus 3y is equal to 8. Let's continue to rearrange this. So negative 3y is equal to negative 9x plus 8. I'm going to divide everything by negative 3 now. So negative 9 divided by negative 3x plus 8 over negative 3. Our equation now simplifies to 3x minus 8 over 3. So slope is 3, and the y-intercept is negative 8 over 3. Now, sometimes we're given this in decimals. And if I have a decimal that is terminal, I can always multiply it by a 10 to get rid of the decimals. So if I multiply each term by 10, I won't have decimals anymore because we're moving everything by one decimal spot. All right, 10 times 0.4x minus 10 times 0.7y is equal to 10 times 1. We have 4x minus 7y is equal to 10. Let's rearrange this, or negative 7y is equal to negative 4x plus 10. And I'm going to divide everything by negative 7. Negative 4 divided by negative 7x plus 10 divided by negative 7. Let's continue to, actually, let's continue to simplify just the signs. 4 over 7x minus 10 over 7. Now what that tells us, our slope is rise of 4, run of 7, and our y-intercept, e, is equal to negative 10 over 7. Now, a couple of slides for you to try this on your own. X plus y is equal to 4. X minus 2y is equal to 10. Solve this by graphing. Let's rearrange our equation. So equation 1, we have x plus y is equal to 4. We rearrange y is equal to negative x plus 4. Now that tells us I have a slope of negative 1, or I could say negative 1 over positive 1, or positive 1 over negative 1, and my y-intercept is 4. Let's plot that. We're always starting out at 4. Next, we're going to count the next spots, down by 1 and to the right by 1. Down, across, down, across, down, and across. Okay. Our first equation, y is equal to negative x plus 4. Second equation, equation 2. x minus 2y is equal to 10. Let's rearrange this. Negative 2y equals negative x plus 10. I'm going to divide everything by negative 2 now. So you'll notice here there's a negative x. So it implies that my numerator is a negative 1. Divided by a negative 2, we have 10 divided by negative 2. When I simplify it, 1 over 2x minus 5. Okay, so my slope is 1 over 2, or I could say that this is negative 1 over negative 2. And our slope is negative 5. Let's start by graphing this on the y-intercept. So start at negative 5. We're going to rise 1, run by 2. 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 Right. Our line is here. We're going to label this. Y is equal to half x minus 5. And we see that our point of intersection is right there. Coordinate for our solution, 6, negative 2. Try this on your own. Pause the video and come back here to check your answer. Right, hopefully you got a chance to pause it. Let's solve this question. First equation, 8x minus 4y is equal to 32. Negative 4y is equal to negative 8x plus 32. Let's divide each term now by negative 4. We have y is equal to 2x minus 8. So our slope is 2, which means it should be interpreted as 2 over 1 or negative 2 over negative 1. Y-intercept is negative 8. Let's plot this on the graph. Start at negative 8, and then we rise by 2, run by 1. Rise by 2, run by 1. Rise by 2, run by 1. I'm going to connect these dots and extend this to extend it a bit farther. Our second equation, we have 2x minus 2y is equal to 12. Let's rearrange. So negative 2y equals negative 2x plus 12. Let's divide each term by negative 2. Negative 2 over negative 2x plus 12 divided by negative 2. Y is equal to x minus 6. Our slope here is 1. So as a fraction, it's 1 over 1 or negative 1 over negative 1. B is equal to negative 6. Okay, -6 is here. Rise 1, run 1. Rise, run, rise, run. Okay, our solution is this point here, 2 and -4. Last question for you to try on your own. Once again, pause the video, try this, and then come back to check your answer. Let's first rearrange this equation. X minus y plus 4 is equal to 0. When I rearrange it, I have x plus 4 is equal to y. So the strategy I used this time is I moved the negative y because I know it's subtracting. When I move it to the other side, it's going to be a positive y. This way, I don't have to deal with a negative y. So I could just rewrite it again. Y is equal to x plus 4. So my slope is 1, 1 over 1. My y-intercept is 4. Let's start always with our y-intercept. Then we're going to use the slope to give us the next points. Rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. Rise 1, run 1. All right, we have this line that we've extended. Y is equal to x plus 4. Second equation that we're going to look at, x plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 0. Let's rearrange. 2y is equal to negative x plus 2. Divide everything by 2. Y is equal to negative 1 over 2x plus 2 over 2. That simplifies to y is equal to negative half x plus 1. So our slope is negative 1 over 2. Now that means I could interpret it as negative 1 over 2, or I could say positive 1 over negative 2. B is equal to 1. Let's start at B. So B is 1. We're going to either use this one or this one. So if we're using this, we're going to go down by 1 and to the right by 2. So down 1 to the right by 2. Down 1, right by 2. Down 1, right by 2. Can extend this line. And we see that our solution is right here. The solution we've created happens at -2, +2. For homework, finish all the this question and then start on the homework listed here.